Hello everybody, this is the second video about how to use together microscopy image browser and Imaris. And in this video I'll show you the connection from one program to another using ImarisXT. So before we start, there is one configuration setting that has to be done, and it can be found in Help, System Requirements, Connection to Imaris. So first we have to have Imaris and ImarisXT installed, and then we have to create a system variable which is called Imaris path. So in order to do that, we need to get to properties of my computer, and in here there is advanced system settings dialog. In this advanced system dialog there is a button which is called environmental variables, and in this system variables you just have to add, click new button and add Imaris path variable with a path to the installation of Imaris, and restart MATLAB. So since I already have this variable in there, I won't do that at the moment. Okay, so let's start. So I'll just open the dataset that I have used also in the previous videos, and I start Imaris. Okay, so now I can just, for example, take and send this dataset to Imaris, and to do that I need to get to the File menu, Export Image to Imaris. So what you can see that the dataset was created. It looks quite small, so we have to click Fit to Selection, and it is not basically seen because of the invert colors. So we have to click on the channel and maybe just put this thing like that, and then the dataset is here, and then we can switch it to the minimum intensity projection so we can see the dataset. Okay, let's test now the same thing with the light microscopy dataset. I'll just open. Okay, I have some super resolution microscopy dataset, so I can also export it to Imaris. And in this case I need to switch to the maximum intensity projection, and yeah, basically you can see the dataset selection. So there are two color channels. Alright. Now I will try to do the visualization of the models that were also used in the previous video. So I have the model which of these four materials, and I can render the surfaces with Imaris using ImarisXT. To do that I have to go to the models menu and the render model, and in this submenu select Imaris surface. Then I can provide here a smoothing factor. If we would use 0, then we'll get the models that are kind of not smooth completely. But what I can do, I can provide some small smoothing factor, roughly in the size of the voxels. So let's get back to Imaris and see. So now what happens that in each iterations, image browser sends a dataset which has a single material to Imaris, and starts Imaris function to detect the surface. So now we have already generated surfaces for lipid droplets, nuclear envelope in blue, and endoplasmic reticulum. And now the last surface has been generated, the last surface for mitochondria. Okay, now we have it all segmented. Let's see it. So now the surfaces are generated, they are fairly smooth and quite nicely visualized. Just to finish this, we also have to send our original dataset to Imaris, and we go to File, Export Image to Imaris. And now we have everything. We have a dataset and all the surfaces. The only issue here is that the color of the dataset, so it's image browser exchange the information about the color channel, but for electron microscopy data it sends to Imaris that the dataset is black, and so the only thing we should do, we can just adjust the slider and so that we can see the dataset, and for the volume rendering we have to switch to the minimum intensity projection. Basically, alternative way is to invert image here, for example using the Control I shortcut, and then send it like this. Then it would be probably a little bit easier to visualize. So again, the model is ready and it can be used to make animations and any kind of snapshots. Let's test something else. So for example, we can use Imaris to open any kind of data. For example, these are some plant cells. There are two color channels. One of the channels is the cell wall in red and the chloroplast. So what we can do, we can send this dataset to microscope image browser. To do that, so we go to File, Import Image from Imaris. So now we obtain the dataset, and we can use segmentation tools available in MIB to segment any part of the image. For example, we can try to segment this chloroplast. I can just switch off, make it grayscale, and the easiest case I can take the black and white thresholding and adjust the parameters so that the chloroplasts are kind of well segmented, and apply it for all slices, and assign it to material of the model. If there is a noise, we can also filter it using the statistics. So, and then I select all 3D objects that are smaller than 100 pixels, as shown in green, and then I can, using pressing Shift S, I can subtract them from the model. So then this model, we can name it as chloroplasts, and then we can render it in Imaris. Okay, we can again provide some, or well, let's keep it as a 0 to see result. Okay, well, so we haven't used any smoothing, so that's why the model looks quite kind of like a stairs. It's not smooth at all. But that's the model, and for example, if we don't want to have this part here, we can get back to the MIB and select these objects and remove those. So let's just click it, do it in a few hits. Also this one. There's one small left. And maybe like for example these guys at this side. And then we visualize this again. Model, render model with Imaris surface, and let's put the now some smoothing factor. Now the voxels are about 250, so we can use this number. Alright, so this is the new surface. Well, it became smoother, but of course not as kind of smooth as because the resolution in the Z direction is not as good. But we also removed these parts which were from the different cell. And then the volume here is the volume which we used, which has the actual model, and at the end we have to send the model back to Imaris. Now the thing was that I didn't have all channels selected. I'll just select them and repeat the export. So this is the original dataset, and above it we can have the segmented chloroplasts. Thank you for watching.